Hey everybody, it's Keith with the L1 Automotive Training Channel. And in today's video, we've got more tech questions from our Tech Questions email. Remember, if you've got tech questions or anything about the industry, tooling, equipment, whatever, just send all your questions to techquestions@l1training.com and we'll get to them on a video like today. All right, today's video is by Alex L. Alex says, "Hey Keith, on a 1998 RAV4, I'm testing the DLC for a no communication on ScanTool. All data says pin 7 is bus line and should have pulse line generation during transmission. How would I test that? I know you're busy and don't expect a super detailed response. If you could just nudge me in the right direction. I'm on your 6th video of the Advanced Electrical Theory. Hasn't seen anything about DLC yet, but learning a ton. Thanks, man." So, Alex is a subscriber on L1Training.com, and we have a little over 100 hours of training material there on the website. Basically, for $20 a month, you have access to all the training material and everything I come out with and keep updated. Tons of stuff there, mostly diag, programming, diagnosis, that kind of stuff. It's all advanced level stuff. But we start at the beginning on most of it, so we kind of build your knowledge as we go. So, Alex, on a 98 RAV4, testing DLC for a no communication on ScanTool. Pin 7 is your K-line communication. Now, K-line is usually not talking a whole lot unless there's something going on, so what you would want to do is you're going to need to scope this. If all you have is a multimeter, it's going to be really difficult to determine what's going on, but if you truly believe you've got no comm with anything, I would start by scoping your pin 7, and you can get into the scope game as cheap as $150 to do this job. So there's a scope by a company called AES Wave. I will link. I'll put their website right here. Amazing company. They sell a tool called the U-Scope. If you don't have a U-Scope and you're a technician, you need one. It's cheaper than almost any name brand multimeter that's a top tier, but it's an oscilloscope and it's fast enough to catch communication. It's a single channel oscilloscope. So if you're a technician and you don't have one, you need to have one. A lot of times they're on back order because they're a very popular tool, but just wait it out and buy one. I'll put a link down in the description as well. So what you need to do is scope the pin 7 communication line. And when you're using an oscilloscope, basically you're just like a multimeter. You're referencing ground, so the ground lead goes on a good solid ground, and the probe lead goes on pin 7. Please don't front probe DLC connectors because you can spread the pins and cause a whole different issue. But if you go in from the back, or if you tag the wire coming out of the pin 7 on the back of the DLC, grab that, and you're basically looking for some kind of bias voltage line. So you're going to see probably 7 volts or 10 volts or 12 volts, or I'm not sure on a Toyota. Most K-line bus is 7 volt though. And then you're going to see little pull downs. So it's going to look like a straight line of voltage, and then every time there's a communication, you're going to see like a good clean square wave. If you zoom way in, it'll be real clean square. But if you're zoomed out, it'll look like just a dropout line. And you'll see in little packets, like a couple of them, and then a straight line, and a bunch more, and then a straight line. And that's all you're looking for is communication. So if you've got that at the ScanTool, then you either had a ScanTool problem, which I highly doubt because you've probably tried a couple of them already, or B, you can't communicate with the PCM, but the K-line's not dead. So that means you need to go to the PCM and do the same thing. So when I'm diagnosing a no communication, I first check and see if it's a global non-communication or if it's communication with just a single module. So if you have some kind of scan tool to allow you to check other modules, that's what you need to start with. See if you can communicate with any module. If you can communicate with other modules but one, get a list of what you can and can't communicate, break out a wiring diagram. This follows our diagnostic process video. And that class is on there. It's a quick 4-hour class, but it helps you build a process so you can quickly diagnose these concerns. Also in our network communication class, we cover this heavily. So Alex, after you get done with the Advanced Electrical Theory, jump over to the network communication class where we cover network communication problems, this exact issue. How to diagnose them, where to start, what are we looking for, what do all these patterns look like, what is K-line, what is L-line, what is CAN bus, what is medium speed, all that stuff. We cover it all. So if you've got just a single module communication error, what I would say is start with going to that module, checking powers, grounds, and comms at the module to see if you have communication there. Making sure to isolate that circuit, see if it's coming from the module or if it's communication coming to the module from other modules on the network. If all of that's good, then the module's bad. most likely, or there's something on a 5-volt reference bringing down the network. So you're going to need to do a little research on this. But powers, grounds, comms are all important. If you got powers, grounds, no comms, start looking to make sure there's no other. See if you've got your 5-volt ref coming out of the PCM. See if it's actually powering up. There's some things you can check out. If it's across the board, no communication with anything, then you need to start looking at modules on the network or network integrity itself. So is the wiring good? Is there a short on the network wire somewhere, dragging the whole network to ground, preventing the ability to communicate? Or is the whole network brought up to voltage and there's a short to voltage? Super rare. I don't find that a whole lot in the field, but you know, it's a possibility. So that's what I would start with. That's where I would go. And network communication stuff is what seems to plague a lot of people today. We're seeing more and more of it for all different reasons. My diagnosis has not changed a whole lot, but things to keep in mind, guys, these are still voltages. It's still just copper wires. Don't get inundated and overwhelmed with everything going on. Make a process. This is, like, I hate to say it, but like, please buy my training, but for $20, spend $20 for the month, go in and watch the diagnostic process video. It's worth $20 alone, I promise. Take just that, cancel your subscription, and use that process, and that's it. Don't you know, you don't have to stick around for everything, but I'm telling you, there's lots of good material in there. And these kind of having a process will absolutely separate you from the rest of the pack when it comes to diagnosing vehicles. I've been doing this a long time, and I can tell you that as the guy that everyone in my area calls to have me come out and figure out the problem children, it's a good process. So that's all I got for you. Well, thanks, Alex, for your question. So if you guys have questions, please send them to techquestions@l1training.com, and we'll answer them here. See you guys next time.